Today's live NFL mailbag is powered by Manscaped. You can get 20% off and free shipping on all of their men's grooming products, including the new Platinum Package 4.0 at manscaped.com/chat. From the RC Playmaker, how many sacks will the Falcons defense record in 2022? I assume that's what you're asking there. The Falcons last year, to be blunt, were really bad about getting after the QB. They struggled pretty heavily to actually produce any type of sacks. They had, I believe, let me double check the numbers. 18, which was 11 less than the previous lowest team. So if they can get to 30, massive growth. That'll be a big win for Atlanta this year. From Tristan Bravo, if Gronk doesn't come back and getting rid of OJ, do you think the Bucs are in trouble at tight end, or can Brady elevate whoever is in the position? So the plan, I think, is to get Gronk back to Tampa. But they did keep Cameron Brate, and they did draft 2 tight ends on day 3, including Ike Lott and Cade Otton. Otton long-term will be their guy. I think the solution is you still use Cam Brate. You go super deep at wide receiver. You go 7 deep, to be honest. So I think they will use a lot of heavy receiver packages if Gronk does not come back. Atlanta's Gaming. Peyton Manning should be the next owner of the NFL. I feel like you mean the Broncos as opposed to like next owner in the NFL, because you can't own the NFL individually. You can own a franchise. I do think Manning wants to be an owner. That's a trickier task to achieve because, money. I would think he's trying to be a part in some capacity of a potential minority owner in whatever person wins the bid. So I like the idea. We'll have to wait and see. From Tyrone Biggums, instead of trading for Baker Mayfield, should Seattle trade for Sam Darnold? To be blunt, no. They're pretty similar costs from a contract perspective, and Sam Darnold sucks. I know that he was held back by Adam Gase in New York. He hasn't been good anywhere or ever in his time in the NFL. Talking about not accurate, not good production, and often injured. I can't do anything with that guy. Now, if the Panthers cut him, okay, sure, I guess you could revisit that. I would have way, way, way more interest in adding a player who I've seen play at a top 10 level in 2022 in Baker Mayfield than in Sam Darnold, who's never been all that good in the NFL. But what do you guys think? We're a show for the people here, after all. Pick a QB. Who would you rather have to start if you had to start one? BM for Baker Mayfield, SD for Sam Darnold. This is the pinned comment here on today's video, so if the ad break comes, take advantage of it, BM or SD. From Jason N., who's going to buy the Panthers knowing the owner filed bankruptcy? So that was one of his companies that I believe had to file bankruptcy, so I don't think you're going to see David Tepper, that's the Panthers owner, by the way, be forced to sell. He's still got plenty of money, it's just the company has to go. So I wouldn't worry too much about that front as it relates to David Tepper. It was just his real estate company. He's still going to be the owner. He's got plenty of money. From Larry Rosen, it will be great to see all the NFL experts crash and burn when the Bears win the NFC North this year. Larry, if the Bears win the NFC North, I will be very surprised and very happy for all the Bears fans out there. This is a multi-year rebuild. They would have had a much better shot if Aaron Rodgers did not return, and I will be one of the experts who crash and burn. I think they finished 3rd in the division. From Smokey254 McKenzie, who is your top/favorite QB in the draft other than Stroud and Bryce? Who will be the most improved rookie QB from last year? Okay, so first question. I liked a lot of what I saw out of Tyler Van Dyke. There is a tier gap for me after Stroud and Young, but there's also some very intriguing depth beyond Van Dyke. So we'll spend plenty of time on that question, I promise you, throughout the NFL offseason and into next year too. Most improved rookie QB, Davis Mills, Mac Jones have higher floors right now relative to their assumed ceiling, so I'll cross them off the list. Trey Lance will have the biggest statistical improvement since he didn't play that much last year. I think Fields' breakout will come in year 3. I'm hopeful for Zach Wilson. If the Jags can just catch, it will be Trevor Lawrence. There are so many awesome plays on film. Lawrence out there dropping dimes. His guys just can't catch. So I hope it's Trevor Lawrence. Trey Lance, though, is a very intriguing bet as well. And, of course, hopefully Zach Wilson takes a step forward as well. Now, if you want to improve your everything about your sex life, you should be using Manscaped. 20% off and free shipping on all their products, including the all-new Platinum Package 4.0. That includes the Lawnmower 4.0, the Weed Whacker, the ear and nose hair trimmer, the Ultra Premium Body Wash, shampoo and conditioner, a 2-in-1 product, and their deodorant, ball deodorant, ball spray toner as well, and the boxers and the travel bag as well. Super helpful if you ever end up traveling at all. 20% off and a free shipping. It's in total $123.99 on a $256 and change dollar value. You will not find a better deal than this one from Manscaped, so check the comment section and the description for the deal. It's manscaped.com/chat. From the Ronin 99, what team goes from worst to first this year? It's a great question. A couple teams that jump out to me from that standpoint. Denver in the loaded AFC West has a chance. The Ravens in the strong AFC North have a very good chance. Beyond that, I think it's one of those two teams. I'm not buying Houston or the Giants or the other New York team either. Seattle's rebuilding. Detroit's not there yet. Carolina has no good QB. And the Jags are the Jags. So the Texans were not a worst to first team. So I'm thinking Denver or Baltimore. From Jeremy Gates, the cool Jeremy. How good are the chances that my Saints get back to and make some noise in the postseason due to off-season upgrades? So in the NFC, very good chance. Let's assume Cowboys and Philly make it in the NFC. One team's wild card, one team's the division winner. That leaves 2 wild card spots, assuming the Bucs from the NFC South, right? Between Falcons and Panthers, not that good. Vikings, maybe. Cardinals, Niners are your real threats there. And that assumes 2 NFC East teams make it. So they are going to be a prime playoff threat. Jameis Winston, though, has to take a massive step forward for them to make some true noise beyond maybe winning 1 game or so. From Clint, will the Bears trade for Robert Quinn, or trade Robert Quinn, and to where? I know how the last name goes there, Clint. Nice try, bud. I could see Robert Quinn being traded. I think if the Bears are rebuilding, you ship him off and get a draft pick. And one team stands out among these 5. The Cardinals drafted some edge but need more experience there. The Ravens could use a 1-year rental. Carolina needs help. The Chiefs could use a guy. The Rams really stand out as a fit. It would be a reunion for Quinn and LA. Well, at least the Rams part of it, I should say. The Bears could trade him at the deadline. That's where I think a trade makes the most sense because they'll be competitive early on, but if they get out of the playoff race, then you shop a guy like Quinn. So make your predictions for me. Will the Bears trade Robert Quinn? Y for yes or N for no? Make those predictions for me in the comments section. For Matthew Fry or Frey, is the projected contract extension for Russell Wilson of 5 years, $250 million, is that a good deal for Russ? From Wilson's perspective, yeah, it makes him the second highest paid QB in the NFL. For the Broncos' perspective, welcome to life with a franchise QB, which you haven't had in a while. Like, this is going to be a very expensive situation for the Denver Broncos, probably after they have a new owner because you got to have the money in trust, blah, blah, blah. Maybe it's not 250. Maybe it's, a little bit less years, a little bit less money. He will be on this top 5 highest paid list. I can pretty much promise you that. It's a matter of how much and what the guarantees look like. But the Broncos traded for him. What are they going to do? Not pay him? From Evan Hinders, Steelers should trade for Chris Carson. I think they would very much like to. The Seahawks should. I mean, they got Kenneth Walker, Rashad Penny. Here's your problem. I don't know if he's healthy. That neck is a very real red flag for Seattle and the rest of the NFL. He's somewhat affordable, but if the medical doesn't check out, which I have concerns about, nobody's going to trade for him. Pedro Sandoval. Here's a question for producer Jeremy. How many sacks does Jordan Davis have this year? All right, Jeremy.
So you
I'll
look
sip
at
some beer.
You look at Jordan Davis's college production. He didn't get a ton of sacks actually at Georgia. He was really kind of just eating up blocks in the middle, and I think he's going to do the same thing for the Eagles. I wouldn't base his production on sacks. I think a good year for him is 1.5 sacks, 2 sacks. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but I think he's going to be more of a terror with tackles for loss, and then also just eating up blocks so we can get one-on-ones for Josh Sweat, Brandon Graham, and some of those edge rushers, Hassan Reddick. Like those guys are going to be the ones who get the sacks from Jordan Davis eating up the blocks. I hope that answers your question.
I think you did quite well there, Jeremy. His goal is to be more of a pocket pusher, more so than a disruptive Fletcher Cox style player. Brokov, if the Cowboys had traded Dak for Miami's 3 firsts back in 2000, who would you have drafted? Okay, this is a fun question, a different style question there. All right, 2020 NFL draft. Let me get the orders and everything pulled up so I don't mess anything up here. So Burrow's off the board. Tua, despite the revisionist history, was the consensus pick at number 5. It was Tua and then Herbert. So if we're being honest with what they probably would have done, they probably would have drafted Tua at number 5. They had 17, so they're still going to take CeeDee Lamb at number 17. They then have 18. I think they would have taken Kayvon Chasen at number 18, which would not have worked out all that great in the end. They also would have had 30 as a pick, which, what route would they have gone? You know what? Maybe they would have taken a corner there. It actually might have been Diggs at 30 at that point. So it wouldn't have been that different. You just would have swapped out Dak Prescott for Kayvon Chasen and let's just say Trevon Diggs, and you get, we'll go a different. Let's go a different player there. They go offensive line help, and they take how about they take Xavier McKinney at safety? How about we have fun and give me a safety player? That would have been a disaster for Dallas. Now, if you want to be a part of the mailbags, then subscribe. Hit that big red button for free videos every single day, multiple times each day right here on Chat Sports. The link, bottom of your screen, it is youtube.com/chatsportstv. From Drake, la 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 la. If the Raiders trade Josh Jacobs or Kenyon Drake, who's a good fit? I assume you mean destination-wise, not like who's a good replacement. Teams that could be in the running back market here. Arizona, if they want to upgrade over Darrell Williams at RB2. The Saints, Mark Ingram, and a possibly suspended Alvin Kamara. The Eagles, I don't believe that much in Boston Scott, and Miles Sanders is maybe never going to be the true guy I think he could be. The Steelers and Titans have workhorse backs, Najee Harris, Derrick Henry. A lot of unknowns behind them. If you want a cheap-ish, Drake's a lot cheaper, by the way, than Josh Jacobs is. If you want to get one of those two guys, Steelers and Titans make a lot of sense as a backup situation for that particular spot. Now, I want you to be a hater. You can be mean in the comments section here. Name a player who you want to trade away from your favorite team. You don't want him anymore. You want to ship them off. Let me know in the comments section. Darrell Lewis, extremely hot take. All West Division teams will make the playoffs in the 2022/2023 season. What is your hottest take? Okay, I'll answer the first part there. It makes sense. Like in terms of like the talent, if they were in the NFC, if this was the NFC West, I think we'd feel good about all those teams making it there. My hottest take. What do we go with here? Let's see. The Bengals don't make the playoffs this year after they go Super Bowl to not making it, and they just regress a little bit and have that Super Bowl hangover season. From Raygon84, interesting. Is there any way the Ravens trade Lamar Jackson? So I think we have to be honest here. The Lamar Jackson situation's weird. It is not normal for a franchise to want to pay a QB, if you believe what they have said publicly, and the quarterback to be like, I don't know. I'm fine right now. That's highly unusual. I don't think Lamar gets great advice from his lack of an agent. I don't think they trade him, but if you're the Ravens and you reach next offseason and he goes, I haven't signed a deal yet, maybe you consider it just a little bit and go, maybe I should try to potentially move on from that standpoint. That was our NFL mailbag. Remember, folks, if you have questions, you can always DM us on Twitter. We'll get back to you with any and all of your answers here, right here on Chat Sports.